Nice. Okay, do you have a time limit on yours?
Nope, I have unlimited time on mine. All right.
Good, because I did one and they stopped me after 40 minutes and I was like, ah. Okay.
I do too many Zoom calls now. It's like, okay, a couple years ago, I just bit the bullet and it's like, okay, I got to pay for it because I do so many of them. At one point, I was doing like having like 60 to 80 people on at once.
No way.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
yeah. Did
That's
morning,
cool.
did morning sessions with everybody, motivational speaker, teaching about whatever that you want me to teach. So
Really?
yeah.
Wow. I need to talk to you more. That's awesome. And how do you two work together?
She kicks my butt.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
I'm his kicking butt when he needs it, or when he doesn't want to. I still do it.
Good, good.
We actually we met through Tony Robbins. We did a Tony Robbins event, and we met because we both realized that we're from Canada, and then it's like, oh, from Edmonton. So we start meeting here in Edmonton, and we became really good friends. And so since then, he's my tech guy, my rock, my friend, and then I'm his coach. I'm his kicking in the butt, and so on.
Well, you're not going to believe this, but I just did the 4 day Tony Robbins thing, and I'm going to do the one in March,
Ooh,
the full
Right on.
immersion. Yeah, and it changed my life, Adriana. It
yes.
did. I am it allowed me to step into a new identity I didn't even know I was capable of doing.
Yeah.
And that was so huge. So
Awesome.
Wow.
So
All right.
let's hear all about that, Aim. M.
All right. Hello,
what?
everybody, and how's it going? My name is Morris Turka, and what a pleasure for this here. We have two amazing rock stars. All right. We have Adriana D. Marvel. Um, she is a coach and speaker from Become and Conquer. And we have a really, really special guest. Her name is Tina Stronger, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Svonger.
Swanger. English is my second language. Bad English is my first.
I
Oh,
I'm Tina Swanger. I am in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I am I've been here since 1984 and I'm a national speaker and a real estate broker entrepreneur.
wow. Wow. So why are we having this call? And like, like why are we having this call here?
Uh, Morris, um, I saw a video of you and Adriana giving back in the homeless community. And I was so drawn into that because I was so excited that you were doing so much for the community. And I just had to ask, I just had to say, Morris, we've got to do something to cause awareness to the homeless population because I know it way too intimately well. I used to be homeless. In
Hmm.
1994, I left St. Louis, Missouri, and came to Colorado Springs, Colorado in a station wagon. At least I had a roof over my head. But I still, peed and pooped in a can. So,
Oh no.
you know, I, ate at the food banks and nobody would give me a job because I wasn't emancipated. I had to leave St. Louis because I was afraid I was going to die. I had been shot in the back. I had watched people get murdered. I saw a man right in front of me in a bar fight, and I was just on the street, and I saw him just collapse in a pool of blood in front of his 7-year-old daughter. It was horrible
Oh
over
my God.
some woman and a bunch of alcohol. I was shot in the back from a drug addicted 17-year-old boy who was shooting pedestrians. And I watched my best friend, he got 72 stitches because he got stabbed for his Jordans, his tennis shoes.
Got
So
stabbed was and got 72 stitches because
yeah,
somebody.
right along here. He was stabbed just like this, 72 stitches, and he almost bled to death right in my arms.
Just
And
for shoes.
so for his shoes, the kids came up to him, give me those shoes, you MFer, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, no, I just got these. These are my Jordans. And they're like, you're going to give them to me now. And they took his shoes and ran, left him there for dead. He was fine. He did live, but
Okay,
you know,
so
at that point, I'm going, and so you say, I'm, right then I was 14, and you say, gosh, where were my parents?
yeah,
It's a good question. My mom was bipolar. My dad was, he was a foster, lived in a foster home all of his life. So raised by nuns and beaten regularly. And so he had severe detachment. I find all this out later. At the time, I'm like, there was nobody protecting me.
oh,
I'm just this young girl out on the streets in East St. Louis, and it was bad. It was really bad. And we never went to the same school 2 years in a row. And honestly, I was I was an outcast because I had a special needs brother, retarded brother at the time. You know, they picked on me because I was poor, and duct tape shoes and government cheese and peanut butter, and you know, we were just really, really, really dirt poor, and basically lived in the projects. And so there wasn't any place for me to go. There's definitely no money for college or anything like that. And, I remember eating mayonnaise sandwiches because there was no food. I remember my brother and I captured a mouse because my dad wouldn't let us have pets, captured a mouse up out of the bathtub because it crawled up underneath so that we could have a pet. Herman was his name.
oh,
And so it was really, at the time, we just did the best we could surviving. And at some point, we were watching Leave It to Beaver and the Brady Bunch, and I'm sitting
right,
there going, these they talk to each other, they have conversations, they like each other, on TV.
right.
And I am I'm 12 years old, and I'm in charge of my mother's Valium, Dilaudid, and psych medications that she overdosed. And I'm the oldest. And my mom overdosed and went into the hospital and almost died. And it was my fault because I didn't stop her from taking too much. And and then I had two younger brothers, one that was retarded or had special needs, and I'm thinking, this doesn't look anything like TV. How come my life is so different?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, did I deserve this? Did I do something wrong? So I thought, you know what? Peace out, people, because I'm not gonna die. And um, there was just so much other stuff, and so it was enough. And
Wow.
I had run away from home a couple times, and they dragged me back because back then, you could beat your kid silly and they wouldn't care. You know, it's like, that's a domestic issue, it's no big deal.
A big deal.
And but now it's like it's way different now, which is great.
Thank God.
Um, Yeah,
But
no
now,
kidding.
now I feel like we're on the other side of the, the pole. Like
I
before,
know.
too much, like on one
The
side
pendulum swing.
yeah, and now the pendulum swings so badly when now we protect our children way too much that they don't know how to handle life or anything in these days. So
Right.
either way is not good. But your
I
your
agree.
story is absolutely incredible, and I am very, very blessed and first of all honored for being here to witness it and hear it, and hopefully for all that are here to listen. I think it's important to bring awareness, and that's why me and Maurice will be doing this, because bringing awareness, I believe, is the first step towards a change, first step towards other people to take charge and control of their own life, and maybe contribute to those that are don't have the same possibility like we have now in these days. The same like you. How many people
So
in your life helped you? Because I'm sure throughout your journey, you had someone in your life that helped you, that contribute to bring and help you to become the person you are today, no?
yes, one of the reasons why I give you the backstory is because when I came here homeless, we were in a station wagon living on the Arkansas River, which is in Colorado. So people used to come to the turnoff to go fishing, and they saw me and my boyfriend, and we're basically emaciated. And they would give us food, and then we would drive into town and beg and go to the soup kitchen and do all of that kind of stuff. So yes, and as a matter of fact, I was 15 and I went to the Dunkin' Donuts. It's a little donut shop, and I told the lady, I said, listen, I have no food. The food stamp wouldn't give us, they wouldn't give us food stamps because I had no address,
Oh.
right? So I also, wasn't emancipated, and I didn't want my parents being notified because then they could get my then boyfriend, who was 19 at the time, for statutory rape. It was illegal. So they'd put him in jail. So I wasn't going to let my parents know. Not only that, I had become pregnant. So they actually allowed me to work there, parking the car, station wagon, in the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot so that we could eat food, and then I could work there, make tips, and then my boyfriend at the time could go get a job. And then from there, we graduated to getting a small apartment, and then just kind of went on. The reason why I tell you this story is because when you see somebody begging on the side of the road, that's a human being.
Mhm.
They look down, they're high, they're mentally ill, but you don't know what they've been through. I remember when I was begging and homeless, the looks I got and the rolling eyes, and people threw drinks at me and splattered them all over me, and said, get a effing job, blah, blah, blah. That happens. And if you think that builds you up and makes you want to love humanity, so I want to bring awareness to think about those people on the streets. Yeah, you don't want them going out and buying drugs or buying alcohol or anything like that. Who cares? That's part of their journey. It's not your journey. They're still human beings. I don't care what they're going to do with the money. You can give them care packages, you can give them coats. I got a huge box of those hand warmer things where you break them up and keep your hands warm. I will go out, give them the foot pads, the hand warmers, gloves, whatever, because I was there. I know what it's like. Here's some baby wipes so that you can wipe your freaking butt because you just had diarrhea all over the place. Seriously.
Yeah.
Here, use the baby wipes, because you know what? I had to go to the laundromat to wash my hair. I used people's leftover soap, that granulated stuff that's like nasty. That's what I use for shampoo. Okay. So, but that's what you had to do. That's exactly what you had to do, you know, just to survive. Luckily, I wanted to, there's a lot of people out there who don't have the mental capacity to get, you know, not homeless. They also don't know what opportunities are out there. Like, for instance, I was on the street corner the other day and I said, did you know there's a warming shelter at Springs Rescue Mission? And they opened up a warming shelter. There's churches all over the city who have warming shelters. It's a no barrier. You can be high off your mind and have a dog and, you know, smell like you know what, and you can still go there so you can live another day. And then maybe you might be able to meet somebody that's going to encourage you to maybe get clean and sober.
Yeah.
So my organization, after I got, you know, I had some divine intervention going on in my life. So, you know, I won't bore you with the beautiful details of that, but fast forward, you know, the organizations I belong to right now are very, very pro, make sure that everybody gets, draws attention to the homeless population. We went from about 1,100 people who were homeless, who lived under shelters, in cars, that kind of thing. Right now, we have reduced that to about less than 400. Yeah. And then we've done that just
Wow.
over the last couple of years. And that was after we extended the homeless shelter to make sure that we had a place for everybody to go. The 400, little less than 400, those are the mental illness or dually addicted. Mental illness plus chemical addiction. Here's the problem with dual addiction. You have bipolar disease or schizophrenia, and you're an addict, heroin, meth, or whatever. The insane asylums, you know, that's what most people refer them to. Mental health organizations will take the mental health, but not the addiction. The addiction will deal with the chemical dependency, but not the mental health. They just opened up 2 dually addicted homes here in Colorado Springs. So, and I think they've got like 25. So, I mean, that's not a lot, but
It's a
Start.
start.
it's a start. Yeah.
It's definitely a start. So what would you say that throughout your journey, what would be maybe a situation or couple of, or a person, or someone says something to you that help you to make a decision? Because through my own journey, I have learned that addictions are not something bad. I know actually addiction are something good, not for the people that actually go through it. Addiction actually, and you can, you know, confirm this, addiction is just a coping mechanism. It's a coping mechanism for people that's the only way, that's the only relationship. Survival is not going to be taken away from them. So when we think about that, a lot of the people, when they find themselves in that situation, they don't think it's an exit. It's just feel that it's a dead end and they are stuck there and they just have to cope with whatever is there. What would be throughout your journey something, someone, a situation, someone said something that helped you to make a decision to change your life, to choose differently?
Well, for me, my driving factor was always, I saw the dysfunction in my family and my environment. So my dream was Leave It to Beaver and, you know, the Brady Bunch. So I was like, you know, there's good people out there. I believe that there are good families and healthy families, and people go to college and get rich and learn and get an education. And I'm going to do the outskirts, but I'm going to figure it out, right? If they can do it, so can I. I'm, you know, whatever. But as far as people that change, they're the ones that looked me in the eye, and said, you can do it. They believed in me. It's just like a teacher. It's like a coach. It's like a parent looking at the child, looking at anyone who's hurting and says, you can do it.
Beautiful.
This is not your ending. If you want it, you can have it. And here's how.
Yeah.
And for me, I didn't know how. So I'm working in a nightclub and I'm serving this customer who is a real estate agent. He's a commercial real estate agent. I'm only about 22 at the time, 21, young. And at this time, I'm addicted. I'm doing drugs and alcohol. Okay. But I knew something was wrong. And you're absolutely right, Adriana. It was a coping mechanism. When I was high and when I was drunk, I didn't think about my past. There was so many things in my past that I did not deal with, that I stuffed, that I hid, that I medicated. And as long as that stayed at bay in the background, then I could fake my way through it, through disassociation, which I did a lot. You know, if I'm in an uncomfortable situation, Tina will be back here and this fake person will be in front. That's the person you see. You don't see this, you see this.
Yeah.
So along the journey, I have learned to cope these two together. Okay. So this guy who is my customer, he looks up at me and says, I believe in you. You're a good person. You should be a real estate agent. I was like, what's a real estate agent? And so my family was really poor. They never owned their own home, ever. None of my family, we grew up in trailer parks and projects and apartment to apartment and slums and this and that. As a matter of fact, nobody I even knew or surrounded myself. And I was like, huh. Well, I knew I couldn't work in a nightclub for the rest of my life. And I had already seen some people get older and older and kind of decrepit. I was not smart and I didn't have an education. Then I found out, and I know this is going to sound funny and it's going to make you question our industry, but you did not even have to have a GED in order to get a real estate license. And I didn't have a GED and I didn't have money for college, but I found somebody who said, I believe in you and I will put you through school.
Wow.
And he did. And he helped me. I got into the real estate industry in 1991. That was right after the stock market crash and
Oh,
the
no.
savings and loan, and interest rates were like 16, 18%. And I come in like this little ball of sunshine, rainbows and butterflies, and every other person on the planet was beat to hell. They're like, you can't sell real estate. And I'm like, oh yeah, I am so let's see, what do you call it when somebody is blissfully unaware?
Naive.
Naive. Well, that was me. I didn't know what I didn't know, so I thought everything was possible. And guess what? It was. I sold over $1 million worth of real estate my very first year.
Good
Volume.
for you.
Volume. That not commissions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody's looking like, who does she think she is? You know, she's just, and you know what? It just kind of went up from there. But it was because when somebody looks at you in the eye and says, I believe in you, that's a game changer.
Yes.
That makes all the difference in the world.
Wow.
And it's like, so there's the love languages, you know, there's the words of affirmation, there's gifts, there's what
Touch.
help me out, touch,
Act of service.
yes, yeah, mine is acts of service, but at that time it was definitely words of affirmation, because my self-talk, my self-chatter, everything was, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not old enough, you're not whatever, you have, you know, you came from a poor background, you're broken, you're dirty, you're whatever. So to switch that is unbelievable. So that's your answer.
Wow. So Tina, I know you didn't mention earlier, but you right from pretty much almost a baby, like you had it rough, right? Parents that weren't parents at 5 years old, right? I know you didn't mention the recording here, you mentioned
Oh, I
beforehand,
didn't say that. Yeah.
right? You were
That
kidnapped,
was at 5.
right?
Yeah, nobody knew where I was for a full 24 hours. I don't remember any of it, but you know what they say, you might not remember, but your body does.
Yes.
And yeah, so so I'm currently going through, I have seizures. They're called non-epileptic seizures. And I have found out just recently, after fighting this since I was 12 years old, having
Mm.
multiple seizures, that this is trauma and PTSD related. So, and I mean, I almost died last October because I stopped breathing. I completely disassociated from my body.
Oh,
I don't know why. It was just a culmination of everything. And, you know, enough is enough, the body says. And, you know, if you completely disassociate, just like the monks do, the monks can regulate their heart rate, the monks can regulate their breathing. The monks can actually, after a long period of time, they can make themselves dead and get themselves, you know, clinically dead until they choose to wake up. Did you know that?
no.
I
Yeah.
heard
Wow.
it's yeah, it's that's what it is. It's the power of what your mind can do and how you can control everything in your life, including your body. It's beyond what us, say, regular humans can even comprehend. Our mind, our little minds cannot even understand. But
And
it's
I didn't.
incredible. Yeah, it's incredible.
So after a long period of time, my body had been disassociating for such a long time. And you know, what I didn't remember came to the surface and I did not comprehend it. And I separated it. So the good news is I did the study, and now I'm going through the study. So I am going to get to the bottom of it. And here's the comforting thing. They're going to do the what do you call it, where the
I have to rapid eye movement.
EMDR.
The EMDR, yes. It's
Yeah, they're going to do, yes, and that's what I understand. So EMDR to separate that. So I'm going to learn how to do it. I'm going to be the guinea pig. And I've already started a lot of the, you know, I'm learning as much as I can about it, because there's a lot of people out there that have trauma that
Mm.
don't know why they're behaving the way they are, or
Yeah.
why they're, you know, they can't
Right.
seem to get out of the addictive behaviors or whatever. And I'm like, I am so excited and passionate about it. I'm not afraid anymore. That fear, I was telling Morris, Adriana, I said, the only fear I'm going to do is if I am about to get hit by a bus. Anything else is free game.
That's right.
Okay, I won't jump.
With your life experience, I think you have like 20 other people life experience accumulated in one. So in one way, they say all the bads are for the good, because now you
Yes.
have so much experience, and I truly believe that there are so many people there that they can relate with your story.
Yeah.
There are so many people that they can feel connected with you, because now they know that maybe possibly with all your vast experience you are able to connect somehow with something that happened in
Yes.
your life. And it's all going back to the message that we want to bring in through what we do. And I know you are in the same team like us, is to remember, all of us, that we are humans. Before anything else, we all are humans, and that's why we're here, to bring the awareness and have someone that is being lived, not just a
Yes.
day, not just a month, but years, and horrible things that some people cannot even imagine or can even
Oh,
comprehend
yeah.
that is capable of a person to do to another person. You to be there and live that and live through that and now be here and speaking about it. I think for us, it's an honor to have you here.
Yeah. Thank
And
you.
I think it's a huge awareness for everybody that listened to us today to look at your story and maybe look at them, not to compare because there's nobody here to compare, but maybe
And
us.
everybody has a different journey. I mean, and there are a lot of people like human trafficking. We got to get a lot of awareness around that. That is horrific,
Yes.
horrific. And you know what? Those women who are rescued out of human trafficking, they've been prostituted or whatever, and now they're addicted or whatever. Society still judges them as if it was their choice.
Yeah.
It
Oh.
is
So they
not.
want, yes, no, they
And it isn't, and it never was. They
Yeah.
have no idea what. I've got a friend who just got her identification. She is 24 years old. She has been human trafficked for the last 7 years.
Yes.
She
And
was
this is,
beaten. Yeah.
that's why it is. These are all these, taboo or like hidden or all these subjects that they are not talked enough about it. And I think it's truly important for us that, that we have the capabilities, that we have the passion, and you have the story and the experience to come in front, to show up, for be the, maybe the, if I'm allowed to say, to be the spokesperson for the rest of the people, like especially like you can be the spokesperson for all
I
these
can
people.
talk. I can talk
Exactly.
about it.
You can talk about it because you have the experience, and then people will connect with you more because you've been through it. You don't speak from a book, you speak from your own experience, and that
Yeah.
speaks volume. And that's why we're here. My question to you is actually maybe two questions. First part, what would you recommend to someone that maybe is still, or he was not long ago, into the same situation you grow up with, homeless or addiction, or all these struggles, really hard life struggles, and they have that seed that you had, that you don't want to give up on this and you don't want to take no for an answer to life? What would be your advice to them from someone that is been through their shoes? And the second one, what would be your advice to the rest of the people that are watching and judging these people?
Have compassion and grace. There's so much judgment around it. Think about if it was your daughter or your son or your brother or your sister. They're human beings. Don't write them off. Never give up. Never give up. Even obviously in addiction, we have toxic behaviors. We're manipulative, where we can even present as evil or violent or dangerous to be around. But don't ever give up on us, because we are still human beings, and we have been through so much, that this is our only coping mechanism. This is the only way we can survive. And that's what we want to do. We want to survive, and then we want to thrive. But if we keep getting beat down and keep getting judged and keep getting told how awful we are and nasty and dirty and blah, 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 we're never going to change. We're never going to start to see ourselves differently, because whoever you are, if you're judging somebody, you're acting as a mirror to them. And if you're giving an evil face, that's their mirror. And that's the only thing they have to go by. So if you smile and you accept and you give love, then they're going to start to learn how to love themselves and make that a possibility. As far as somebody who is in the trenches, who is currently hurting, who is not knowing where to turn, find somebody with that kind, loving face who is willing to extend a hand and don't just talk to them like you want to manipulate them, because we have to protect ourselves too. And if you want my help, I will bend over backwards, or I'll point you in the right direction.
Wow. You have such an amazing heart. And from where you came from to now, it's like you're literally a movie, from rags to riches to you being married for 27 years. Okay, that alone, everybody. Like, come on. I mean, like,
Only
seriously.
26, only
Okay,
20.
sorry, 26, 20, right? 26 years. And nowadays, you don't hear that a lot. So first of all, that
Hey, you want to see
congrat-
some fun pictures?
Yeah, please, please.
Okay. So this was me when I was 17, and that's pregnant with my second baby.
Second baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
I lost my first baby,
Oh.
which was really a shame. But then I went on to have more. So now
Oh, look at those beautiful boys.
I have 3, right? And then when I met my husband, he had 2 boys, and then we have 5 sons.
Wow.
Beautiful.
That's
But
awesome.
one of them was addicted to heroin, who is now 2 years sober, a professional UFC MMA fighter, and he runs a prison ministry and a boxing ministry, getting kids off the street right
Wow,
now.
that's beautiful.
Wow.
Like I say, you turn your mess into your mastery. Look at that.
Who
That's
is
me.
that? Who's that
That's
rock star?
So that's me now. And I've worked in the real estate industry for 33 years. I've helped a lot of people out of short sales and foreclosure, first-time home buyers, veteran buyers, creative financing, and I've even made a couple of millionaires, including myself.
That's a
Wow.
beautiful, beautiful story to show people that is always hope, and is always, if you
Never give up.
you never give up, and you keep going with what feels inside you there, you will find the right people to help you and propel you to change your life dramatically. And because you are a
And
living
give grace, because people
Yeah.
along the way, they're going to want to take advantage of you. Sometimes people are going to hurt you, and you're going to want to give up or feel bad about humanity and all that. It's all about your attitude, it's all about, I mean, I was divinely inspired. I have a belief in a higher power, in a power greater than myself. That was what kept me going, because if I relied on my own understanding or the other human beings on the planet, that wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
I've gone through AA, NA, I've had sponsors and all of that. I've got some church hurt, but that was because I was relying on other humans.
Right.
And we're fallible. But if you have grace and a positive heart, then it's all okay.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, Tina, this has been truly amazing. It felt like, okay, you know what? We can keep talking for hours and hours, because you touch on all these little points, and each point has a huge story behind it.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say thank you so very much. And if you don't mind me being bold and asking, I know I'm asking while recording, it's probably not fair, but would you be okay, like, if people want to reach out, right? Because I noticed that you're not only a realtor, but you're also a national speaker as well. And
Mhm.
you have such a kind heart. And I'll just touch here that you run lots of charities and organizations, how to help people. You help
Mhm.
build expansion onto this one center to put 600 more beds for the homeless. So what is the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Tina.swanger@remax.net, or go through just, you know what? Tina Swanger is a really uncommon name. So if you just do Tina, TinaSwonger, and type in Colorado, you'll get everything.
And we're
Perfect.
gonna put your links as well on the comments when we're gonna
Yeah.
have this running, and
Okay.
definitely people can reach out to you.
Because I've
And
got Instagram and
yeah,
I'm
definitely. And I
still learning.
see this. I hope this is our first time, and I hope it's not our last time
No.
having this incredible conversations. Like Boris said, I think we can take one piece and make each story into one podcast itself. I think it's you have so
Yeah.
much wisdom, so much beautiful passion towards humanity, towards how to help each other, and through your gifts, through your talents, and through your experience, I think there's so many people that will learn from you and with you. And
That's my
we
mission. That's my purpose. That's my journey. And that's the next steps. I don't want all of this that I've gone through go to waste,
No.
because I think it has a purpose.
Yes.
most definitely.
So I thank you both very, very much. And I just want to thank you all listeners and everybody out there. This, I don't know how about you, but I was deeply shocked, touched here. I was shocked. I look at my life, I go, oh, I got my struggles, but got kidnapped, getting shot. And I mean, like, how on earth do you go from that to this? You are definitely an inspiration to me. And I literally, if you don't mind, send me a picture, because I'm going to put it on my wall to say, hey, if you can do it, I can do it. And not only can I do it, but we all have the capability
Oh,
of helping others, because we're all family. And it doesn't take much. So I want to leave with this one quote. Mr. Rogers kept this in his wallet. All right. There isn't anyone you couldn't love once you've heard their story.
That's a beautiful way to end this beautiful
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank
so you
you,
two, so you take on, hang
Anna.
on for a quick second. And again, thank you everyone there. Go out there, just change just make a smile to one person. Say hi. We're all human.
Look them
Take
in
care,
the
everyone.
eyes. Look them in the eyes.
And get to know their name too. They're humans.
Right?
Yes, exactly. Not just, hey, that person. No. All right, everyone. Take care and thank you.